Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about our experience this time in Nassau, Bahamas. We're going to give a little review and tell you about the things that we did. Come join us. Hi everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. If it's your first time here, we're a travel agency. We just try to give you some great information about everything cruising so that you can plan an amazing cruise vacation for you or your family or friends. So if that sounds good, we'd love for you to subscribe, join us on this journey, and come have fun. Today, we're going to talk about Nassau. We go to Nassau a fairly decent amount. And a few months ago, we did a video and we said how like sometimes we don't get off the ship in Nassau. And somebody said, hey, you should do a couple videos and do some fun things and pretend, you know, like it's your first time. Because for a lot of people, they don't get to go to Bahamas, Nassau a lot. So they want to know what the fun things to do are there. So we are spoiled, obviously, in that we get to travel a lot. So we decided to redo it and go do a bunch of really fun touristy things so that we could show you all the great things that there are to do in Nassau. It's not a bad port. It's just a port that is heavily trafficked. So it's one of the ones that if you go on cruises a lot, you're going to hit Nassau a lot. So the one great thing about Nassau that you will see is that Nassau is very walkable. So if there are things you want to do, you don't need to particularly plan an excursion. I generally don't recommend that you do excursions in Nassau unless you have something very specific that you want to do. So if you just, for instance, want to get to a beach, you can walk to a beach. There are nicer beaches, yes. So if you wanted to do something really cool, you could do that. The exceptions are basically if you wanted to go to a really nice beach, like Blue Lagoon or Pearl Island, something like that, that's great. If you wanted to do like a day pass at Atlantis or say, for instance, a day pass at Margaritaville, those are some reasons to book an excursion or some type of a day pass at those different locations. Otherwise, you can walk right off the ship. When you walk off the ship, depending on what cruise line you're on, depending on where you're at in the terminal, it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk from your ship to get outside of the port. So just walking from, because there's like 5 or 6 bays there for ships. We were there obviously a few weeks ago and there was 5 ships there. So if you pull in and there's 5 ships there, you're going to hit a lot of people, right? So Disney Wish was there, Celebrity Summit was there. There was a Royal Caribbean ship there. I think it was Mariner. And then we were there on MSC Meraviglia. And then there was one other ship, Virgin, forget which one. Scarlet Lady, maybe. So with all those ships, if you are at the far end, which Virgin usually docks at the first part, or Disney's the second one, you can get out of the port in like 5 minutes. Anyway, I digress. But the port is getting built up now. It is nicer. They're building like a port entry building, so it's not just like walk right out anymore. But once you progress through that, you will be out right on Bay Street there. If you go right, you're going to head down towards Margaritaville, Junkanoo Beach, all those things. If you go straight, you're going to walk into a little bit of a straw market-ish area. There's a big straw market down to the right. There's restaurants right across the street here. But as you'll see, in this journey, we went to the Queen's Staircase, which is only about, once you get outside of the terminal there, it's only about a 5 or 6 minute walk. So you just cut up. It's going to be like 3 turns to get there, as you see here. But doing that, you get to the Queen's Staircase, and you can also go to Fort Fincastle, which is right there at the staircase. So if you do that, that is a pretty fun adventure for you to do. We did that. It was really informative. Just a quick note, the guy that does these little intros and tours does not have any official capacity with Nassau. He basically created a badge and just started doing this one day. And he works on tips, which is totally fine by me. He does a good job of introducing. He doesn't really hijack anyone. He doesn't make you give him a tip. He's not aggressive at all. He just talks about the Queen's Staircase, gives you some information on it, and then he asks you for a tip. So we did that. And then from there, we wandered over to Graycliff. Graycliff's one of my favorite areas there. There's a hotel there. There's a restaurant. There's a cigar factory, a chocolate factory, and there is also there's a winery right across the street. There's a lot of really nice things there. So then once we went to Graycliff, we walked through the cigar factory, the chocolate factory, and then wandered around there for a little bit. We then wandered over to Watling's Distillery. So normally I would say go check out Watling's. It's a fun little spot there. You could do tastings. There's a bunch of different things going on. The day we were there was like 4 tour buses there. Again, this is what happens when there's 5 cruise ships there. Sometimes things are just a little untenable. So it was a little too crowded. We showed up there. We just took a couple pictures and some video, and we got the heck out of there. And then we walked down to Junkanoo Beach. So this whole loop that we did is maybe like an 18 or 20 minute walk if you go from the ship to the Queen's Staircase, to Graycliff, to Watling's, to Junkanoo Beach. So if you're looking for like a fun little day that's maybe like 3 hours or 4 hours, if you wanted to spend a little chunk of time, Queen's Staircase takes about 15, 20 minutes. If you walk through the fort, you drag that out for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. Then to get over to Graycliff, it's going to be 5 minutes from there. You could spend maybe, if you were trying really hard, 30 to 45 minutes. And then if you did the winery, you could tack an hour on because you could do a tasting there. And then walking over to Watling's is a 3-minute walk from there, 5-minute walk tops. You could do some little fun things there. You can get really, you can get a nice little buzz going, and then head to Junkanoo Beach where you could spend an hour or 2. From Junkanoo Beach, you're a quick 10-minute walk right back to the ship. So everything's in like a little circle area there. So that's why we picked this little itinerary, so to speak, for our day. So we could just basically do a loop. There are far more things to do in Nassau. Every cruise we do, we're going to do some different things. So you get to see some different aspects of it. I think next time we might do Atlantis. So that's just a quick rundown of our day in Nassau. If you have questions, you want more directions or any interesting tips or tricks, feel free to comment below or feel free to email me at jp@bitesizecruises.com. It's BYTE size, SIZE, cruises.com. And we really appreciate you watching the video. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time.